Valve dropped 3 absolute bombs today. The Steam Frame standalone VR headset, that's gonna have to be a separate video, but this one focusing on the new Steam Machine, and yes, the wait is finally over, the 2026 edition Steam controller. Let's start with a little history. Over 10 years ago, Valve announced their first version of SteamOS, a Linux-based operating system that would free gamers from the shackles of Microsoft Windows. No, it was a total commercial flop. But instead of giving up on Steam machines, Valve doubled down, working with game developers on Linux-native ports of their games and with open source developers on the Proton compatibility layer that makes their Steam Deck handheld out-of-the-box compatible with thousands of Steam games, even ones that only ever shipped on Windows. The Steam Deck is believed to have sold millions of units at this point, and no wonder given its great balance of solid gaming and outstanding affordability. But its mobile form factor has given it certain limitations and left gamers hungry for something more substantial. And well, here it is. I'm calling it the Lunchbox. 1, because it's substantial, like lunch. 2, because it's cube-shaped, like a box. And 3, because I think this thing is going to eat Xbox's lunch. Okay, that last one was a bit of a reach. But not as far as I'm reaching for this segue to our sponsor.
Hold up, RoveLab is having a sale, 60% off. They're easy to move, and they're easy to use, and super comfy. But I got a little friend new now, a guy has gotta celebrate somehow.
In what has become typical Valve fashion, they've been atypically open about the new Steam Machine, giving us direct access to the engineering folks who worked on these devices. The only thing I didn't have today was time, so we're gonna get through this as fast as we can. At the heart of the Steam Machine is a 6-core AMD Zen 4-based CPU that turbos up to 4.8 GHz with 16 gigs of RAM and an 8 gig GPU that they compared to a 7600 XT-ish. But they were also quick to point out that it might not be apples to apples thanks to their custom software stack and power tuning. Basically, the goal was that pretty much anything on Steam should run at 4K 60 FPS if you're willing to turn down the details and use a little bit of FSR upscaling. And we saw that on display with Cyberpunk running in the demo room at these settings. Valve says to expect about 6 times the performance of the Steam Deck. Now, I was a little surprised to not see an SoC with shared memory, but apparently the decision to go for discrete CPU and GPU came down to balancing cost, power, size, and performance, and also they just didn't feel like they needed to. And I guess Valve was right, because they nailed this thing. Compared to a more traditional ITX small form factor machine like the OG Steam Machine reference design, you can see that it's a lot smaller. More on par with a highly integrated design like something like the Framework Desktop, investment disclosure. Like the Framework Desktop, Valve allows customization of the front panel using these magnetic plates, and they're going to provide the CAD